And welcome everybody, welcome to the show, welcome to Tech Hondo. Really appreciate you for taking the time and efforts to be here live and direct. My name is Petra from Rugen, as you can see there below, and welcome again to Tech Hondo Live every single Saturday at 7 p.m. Central European Time, and as of course across the world in a different time zone, but typically it's of course 6 p.m. in the UK time zone. It is about 6 hour difference, so there's 1 p.m. if you live on the eastern side of the US or Canada, and if you live on the western side of the US or Canada, it will be most likely a quick check, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Great of you to be here live and direct, and let's do the following. So today we're going to talk about some automation around vMix, and in order to do that, I thought to just talk a little bit about the effect of shortcuts. Why do you need it? Why do I think that you need automation in the vMix setup? We will be talking about all kinds of different controllers that you can have, but we will be demoing a few of them as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. One of them is actually no hands, and the other one is no hands and no feet. So that's quite an interesting one. So let's delve into it. But before we delve into the main dish of today, it's just a quick check-in to see who is live and direct here during the show. And of course, like always, MT is in the house. Welcome, MT. Very appreciate you for taking your time. Of course, you're a busy Saturday to be here. Appreciate that. Danke sehr in German, of course. I also saw Shane and Hannah Holland also in the house. So hi, welcome back. Hi, great of you guys to be here. I also see Orbital in the house as well, all the way from Frankfurt. Great of you to join, of course. Let me see if there are other people that have joined from Canada. We talked about Canada a little bit. Happy Saturday, friends. Jason, welcome, and really appreciate you for taking the time. Leandro Cura from Argentina, welcome. Appreciate you for taking the time. Vil from Finland, absolutely fantastic that you're here. Gerhard from Germany, welcome. And Raul is also in the house as well. So that means that we have I would say almost a full house. I also see Connie from Aachen, which is across the border. It's just like maybe a few kilometers from here. Welcome, Connie. Let me see. I also see Casey from Prague. So a lot of people are joining. And if you want to join this kind of content and you're looking at this after the fact, then know that it's on a Saturday at 7 p.m. Central European Time. A lot of Germans. So willkommen from my German colleagues. And of course also from my other colleagues. The same thing goes, obviously. Tech on Live is the place where we as producers can hang out, talk a little bit about technology. By no means I'm a guru. I'm passionate about productions, and I want to share my knowledge and share my ideas with the rest of the world so that you guys can improve on that as well. And of course, all the way around also provide me some additional knowledge, which I'm not aware of at the moment. So that is really really cool of you guys to do that. Good. All right. I did see one remark from MT, and he says that vMix is kind of interesting stuff. I had not much of play around with that, but actually, I think MT, you should. Yeah. It's a very nice product. Of course. Everything has its own place in the world. I'm also not fully on vMix if I'm on location, but in this particular setting, like I have right now with a talking head and just basically it showed that I have to run all by myself. I'd rather do that in vMix and having a lot of different functionalities going on. I just want to keep it nice and sweet. By the way, you're not looking at a full-on desktop computer. This is just a laptop. So that might also give you a little bit of idea. It's not a big computer that is actually running this system. It is not the cheapest, that's for sure, but because it's a laptop, but it is definitely something that is good. Anyway, that's it for the check-in, and let's talk a little bit about the topic at hand, automation. Why is that so important to me? And please, guys, chime in if you want to also provide some additional comments on that. But automation for me helps me to focus more on the topic at hand. I really want to talk to you. I'm looking at the lens at the moment, and I'd rather not look at the screen, even though you might see me doing that more often than not. And I'm going to tell you why I do that. That's more for myself. People see me as a vMix expert, and I want to keep it in my fingers. And for that simple fact that I want to keep it in my fingers, I want to have it like a muscle memory. I typically don't automate everything. However, I do simply do that a few times. Actually, to be honest, one of the things that we're going to talk about, I removed fully today, but I will be recreating it together with you guys to show you how cool it is to use it if as an idea. It's always as an idea. It's not a mandatory thing. So yeah, let's just talk about where it has for automation is really about simplifying the workflow for you as a content creator. Now, it can also be used for other purposes. Hey, if you're a producer of a show and you're not in front of the camera, then it still can be very beneficial, especially, for example, the show flow at the start of the show is fully automated. So the only thing that I do is that I move the counter slide from preview to program, and by going from preview to program, it will automatically start the stream. It will automatically start the music after 15 seconds. Why 15 seconds? Because it takes 15 seconds for YouTube to see that I am live, and I have to click on go live and a go live button in the YouTube studio setup, and that's the reason why I chose 15 seconds. Then next to that, it will automatically count down, and once it reaches 0, it will automatically start the leader of the show. Now, that leader is changing every single week. You might have noticed that already, but the leader does give you a little bit of an idea of what the content is about on at this particular moment. And also once that leader is done, there's also an automation, quite a big automation setup where my microphone is switched on, the audio is removed, and that kind of stuff. And also you'll see that Petra Verbruggen down there. That's all automated. I do nothing on that anymore. That's all fully by magic, I would state. However, I'm not going to go through that part, but I am going to show you more in generic terms about what are the possibilities. And a few of these I will be touching upon at a later stage this year. So I will purposely not talk about them in full length. But I will mention that to you during this show, why that is, and we'll move on. But I do have some cool demos. So, what kind of controls does vMix allow for? Well, there's quite a lot of different ones. And to start with one that you're absolutely not expecting, well, at least I would not expect it from the get-go, is that you can actually control vMix with, boom, a Microsoft controller. That's right. You can actually use a Microsoft controller for setting that up. And that is really cool. And the reason why that is so important is that, of course, you can use the X, Y, B, and A button for all kinds of different things, like playing a video or muting the audio, etc. But the joystick is really interesting if you use a PTC controller. For example, you have a built-in PTC controller in vMix that you can use and that you can then also call upon via other applications or other software products. So that is why this is I would say that in general terms, awkward at start, but it's definitely one that is there. We will be using this because I do own a Xbox controller. We will use the Xbox controller when we're going to talk about how you can set up PTZ within vMix, because we'll have a separate show on that. Full topic. We're going to go all in with different brands, different functionalities, that kind of stuff. Wait, just give me a few seconds. All right, so I thought that my dad had an issue, so that's the reason why I wanted to check that. All right, So that is the controller. We'll be using that for the PTC area. Another one, which I'm a personal favorite of, but honestly, not for everybody, is SCARHOI devices. SCARHOI devices have a really good quality of a product. It's very powerful. It comes with a computer built in. They call it a blue pill, and that is basically a full controller, which allows you to not only set up vMix, but also combine it with PTC controllers, with HyperDecks, with audio devices like, for example, the Behringer X32 or the QU16 or whatever you like, as long as it's a Cat5 enabled system and you have it in their core setup, you can use it as a starting point. They're not cheap, I have to admit that, but they are very powerful, and I do own a few SCARHOI devices, but not this one particularly, because I have chosen to use other a means of controlling vMix, though this is definitely not a bad option if you don't have anything else. What I really like about this one is, by the way, and I think that that's extremely important to note, is that this product can handle everything out of the box. So you just have to configure it, so provide an IP address of vMix, and use a web interface to configure it fully to your liking. And then once you have done that, you can it's saved in the application itself, and you don't have to have a computer with it to run that controller. That is a little bit different than the other one that we want to talk about. And this is actually, we're going to use the Stream Decks as an example to control vMix. This one does need a computer which runs the Elgato Stream Deck software to be able to work. It cannot work without that software. It was just a brick without that software. So that is important to note as well, that so it's not a standalone device. Now, however, with Stream Deck, you do have a plethora of different options. You have the software versions, but you also have the original Stream Deck, which is not this one. Oops. Where is it? Oh, it's here. It's not. Well, almost the original Stream Deck, because it's the Mark II version of it. So it has 15 buttons, and you will decide what you can do with those 15 buttons. You can also use a button to as a means of a menu system, so that you can go to the next page and go, for example, to a different show that you have. So it is you have a plethora of possibilities there. We will be talking about two of them today. We're going to talk about the Stream Deck XL. This is the one that I'm having also in front of me. Let me show you but the top-down shot right here. So here I have a Stream Deck. There you go. So this is what I'm going to use today for the demo purposes. And next to that, we also will use a other Stream Deck, which I also really like, and that is the paddle. This is this one right here, and of course this has a reason why this is a good suggestion for your own system. We can briefly talk about this one, although formally. Officially, it's not yet supported by vMix. At least that's my last known status. I didn't see any changes in that, so I don't know if the knobs will be working on vMix, but it will definitely something to look forward to once that becomes available, because that will allow you to do also some minor adjustments, which I do appreciate and do like. All right, so we're definitely going to talk about the Stream Deck, and the next one that I will be talking about, but not today, is X-Keys. X-Keys is again a very good product. They have these kind of keyboards, right, that you can see right here. As a matter of fact, I own the XK60. I have been using this one for ages, still using it to this day for some particular functionalities. However, what I like about this product is that it has a very nice touch and feel to it. It might not be so fancy if it comes to like the Stream Deck, where you have a lot of possibilities of adding icons and that kind of stuff. Of course, this is not that, but the buttons that you can use to push are really nicely textiled, and therefore they're also very easy from the perspective of muscle memory. And I will not be using the X-Keys today. Not because I don't want to talk about them, definitely, but I do have a video lined up, planned, so to speak, that we're going to talk about the vMix replay functionality, and that's where one of the keyboards that they have is really shining, and that's what we're going to talk about very, very, very soon. So here you have a plethora of different possibilities to use to control vMix. Did you know all of them, or are you flabbergasted by one of them or a few of them? Let me know in the comments below. And let me see if there are any comments in the meantime. There you go. Orbital, I love the pedal, a little noisy but great. Yeah, I tend to agree with that statement right there. And I also see that Connie is stating looking forward, which is fantastic. Well again, thank you, Connie. I'm going to quickly drink something because... yeah, there you go. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to talk about. So let me get my show notes here in front of me. All right, so first and foremost, all of it is going through triggers or shortcuts. Well, triggers are something that is automated as part of an input or of an object, where shortcuts is something that you do. It's an action that you can do. So it's possible within vMix to assign a button or something else. We're going to talk about what the other thing is, to a action. And well, let's go ahead and show vMix and show where you can find those shortcuts. I need to go to the correct screenshot. All right. So here you go. So this, believe it or not, that is the whole shebang. On the left-hand side, you see myself in preview. On the right hand side, that's program. That's what you actually see at the moment. But just disregard that. I will also put on top of the right hand side the shortcut menu. So if you want to work on shortcuts, you actually have to go to settings. That is on the top part right here. Wait a sec, I'm gonna do it differently. Let me check how you can magnify Windows quickly. Magnify, there you go. Magnifier, whoa, sweet, nice. Okay, can I also decrease it a little bit? Oops. Well prepared, Petra. Okay, we're gonna do 200%. That's fine. All right. Okay, so are you seeing that? No, I'm not sure what you guys are seeing. I'll just remove the magnifier. Let's just not worry about that. Okay, sorry for that. So I was like, what am I looking at? Okay, we'll have to do it without the magnifier. Okay, so let's go to the settings. Settings is on the top right position of your screen. So if you look at me, it's right there, on top position there. Then you can click on settings. And this is what you see then. I will just remove right there so that it becomes a little bit less of a hassle for you guys. And here you see shortcuts right here. And you do see that there's quite a plethora of different shortcuts. And you see main, desk cam, picture-in-picture, comments, blah, 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 blah. And you see that a few of them are in black. So dark bold, and a few of them are not. What is the difference between the two? That's, I think, very important to note, is that if I click on edit on this one, then I see that this is a local shortcut. So that's for this project only, which allows you to have a specific validations for or specific shortcuts for program A or program B, which also means that if you're a producer like myself and have multiple programs to think about, then at least it's possible to have a plethora of different options there. Now that is what it is. So you can have global ones. So the below are all global, and these also will be deleted at the moment. Yeah, remove. Yes, remove. I'm going to tell you why I'm doing that in just a bit, because we don't need them in just a bit. And if I want to add a shortcut, so the easiest way of seeing a shortcut is that you actually can assign it to a key, like a keyboard key. So basically, if you want to, for example, go from this shot that I have right here that you see to the main shot, if you want to do that, then it's quite easy to create that. You just say add. Then you can here click on the key that you want to have. So you can see a plethora of options here. But for the sake of it, I can also hit find and say, okay, I want it to be the X key right there. Boom. So now if I hit the X key, it will automatically move the main camera to program or to what you see. But of course I need to add that first. So let's just make it a cut. So like that. And I can do either from preview to program, but I can also say, no, I want to specifically have the main camera that I'm at, and then say it doesn't have to be a local, or in this case, yes, let's make it local, and hit OK, and hit OK. And if I now press the X key right now, boom, there you go. And if I press it again, you will see that it does not change, because it's not looking at the preview, but there's something else. Let me check if there are some comments in the meantime. Connie was interested in the replay session. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that at a later stage. I already have planned, so it will come. MT says, I know the controllers, Scargo is really nice, but like you said, they're pretty pricey. I'm looking forward to build my X-Keys controller for, let me see the full comment, for my 2ME. Yeah, that is definitely one of the better options that you have there as well. Digital Creation says, you know how to show your love. Ah. MT says, keyboard shortcuts will not work with my internal memory. I totally understand that. That's also the reason why it's. I would also not do that but for the sake of clarity, for some people to understand what is actually happening. This is a very good first step to understand. It's basically just a mouse click or a click on a key, and but it is on a different device. All right, so I just briefly touched upon how easy it is to add that shortcut. So let's go back to that screen, right here, and then let's go to shortcuts again. I will be removing this now because I'm not interested in it. But what I am interested is to change my Stream Deck, just for the sake of clarity on what the possibilities are. So again, what does the Stream Deck look like? Right here is the Stream Deck, right here in on the picture, and that is also reflected in the Stream Deck application. And I will be opening that one up as well. And I will be moving it to a different screen, and I will be moving to that screen now. There you go. So this is basically the same screen as you can see right there. And what I like about the Stream Deck key is that you can utilize different ways of showing what kind of functionality it is. So in this case, you see I'm using green, blue, orange, purple, red to indicate like segments of what I do. And this is, by the way, exactly the shortcuts that I'm using for the local church service. And basically what I do is that if you look from left to the right, is that I start with an introduction, which is basically a slide that is semi-transparent, where you already see a little bit in the backdrop the altar of the church, and on top of that it states in about 30 minutes you'll have a TV show church service, and blah blah blah. It's also available on the radio and on Facebook as well. Then I use that cross that's below it to remove that slide, and then I'll have a real countdown. But of course, it's a little bit of a toned down countdown with very limited movement. But I am using that move, to be honest, to verify if the connection is great. So if there's movement, I can actually see somewhere else if everything in the chain to the broadcast is okay. So that's the reason why that is there. And then you have the call to action. So basically, if you want to pay the church some money for, of course, the to maintain the church by itself, then that is a possibility. We actually have two call to actions during the show. So one is the blue one, then you've got the orange one, and then at the end we have the removal of the logo and this program is brought to you by blah 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 area. And then below, of course, you hit the live button to start the stream, you hit the end button to stop the stream, and you hit the record button in some cases if you want to record the stream because somebody was playing or singing and they want to have a recording of that. So basically those are all the things that I'm using, but I'm gonna, for the sake of speed, I will be adding a vMix button. But the other thing is that if I would press this button on the device itself, it will do nothing by itself. It will not work. So you need to provide the Stream Deck some indication. So how do you do that? Well, you can add a vMix functionality right from this menu. You have to install it. So there is a like a marketplace. So I have that shortcut right here. I can add that, and if I then go to the screen, you will also see that same button on screen right there. So that button corresponds with the button that we just added. So that is really cool because now I can actually assign something to this button. Of course, it's just a logo of vMix, so nobody knows what it's all about. But you can do whatever you like. So let's do roughly the same thing as we did prior. So if I want to put my main camera on this screen, but this time around I don't want to cut to it, but I want to have like an animation where let me show you manually what I mean. So I want to make this happen. Yeah. How do you do that? So that's basically what we're going to try to do today, and that is really by just saying, okay, so that this is the button, and we then again need to go to the settings, and I believe that I can then show the settings right here as well. But beautiful. Let's put them side by side, like so. I can then go again to shortcuts. I can then say add again, but now I can still say find, but now I'm not pressing a button on the keyboard, but I'm pressing the button on this device, the Stream Deck. So I'm literally pressing it now, boom, and you see that it states, hey, there's a Stream Deck button down. That's right, so there's also a button up. So if you really want to have a change between the button down and the button up, that's a possibility. That might be helpful if you have two actions at the same time. So that's the reason why that might be interesting. But for now, for the sake of it, let's just use the down version. And it has like a hexadecimal code. It doesn't say anything to me, but at least I know that that's the button that we're working on. I said I wanted to make that nice graphic going. That's not a cut, but that's a merge. So let's hit merge here. And I don't want to merge the preview, even though that is particularly now the fact that that's the one that is live. But I actually want to go to the BD main camera. And on top of that, I actually want to give it a name. So main. And hi, Scoot. Scooter's right here. Come a little bit closer. Watch your step. Let me go here quickly. Oh wait, that doesn't work yet, but we'll give just a few seconds to see. Where? Oh wait, I cannot click now because I have some mouse. There you go. There he is. Hey. Hi. Hello. All right. Watch your step, huh? Okay. Sorry for that, but I think that is really cool. Anyway, I could not change anything because I had the windows open. So but I'm gonna redo those steps. So the shortcuts. Oh, I didn't save. That's right. Okay, let's do it again. So add, find, push down, boom. I say main. So I'm giving it a name at the moment. I could, in some cases, provide a thumbnail as well, but we can do that. But in this particular case, it will most likely show only the. Oh no, it will show the end result. Because I'm going to change this to BD main, and that's that's it. Local shortcut is okay. Let's go local shortcut, and it will also be available now. Please select the function. Oh, of course, merge, and hit OK. Boom. So now it states main right here. I hit OK, and now if I press this button. Yeah, you don't see that here, but I can show it to you here. Is that it's actually showing a video. And if I zoom in to that. Oh, zoom in, I said. that is a video that's actually available on the Stream Deck, so it's easy to see what is happening, so I can understand what is happening from the get-go. And if I now press that button, you don't see me pressing it, but believe me, I'm doing it right now. Boom. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see. So that is how easy it is to use a Stream Deck to create that functionality from that. Let me check. I want to make sure that I have the show flow good. So that was the Stream Deck, and that of course works with the Stream Deck XL, the Stream Deck Mini, the Stream Deck itself. Actually, you can also assign for X keys also a button, of course, but this is really cool, especially the one that you can actually see a little bit of a preview of what is happening on the screen. That's really cool. Let me see if there are some comments in before I go further. Does vMix work with a Stream Deck? Yes, the Stream Deck Mini, the Stream Deck XL, and the Stream Deck, well, the original Stream Deck, the Stream Deck Make 2, the Stream Deck XL, the pedal, they're all working with vMix. The only one that is not officially supported yet, and therefore not fully working yet, is the Stream Deck Plus. But believe me, as soon as that becomes available, I will be playing around with that Plus as well, for sure. Because I do like that the concept of having those rotary knobs, because it gives you a little bit more finesse to really get the right thing going. Digital Creation says OBS is slowly upgrading its functionality, but vMix has far more flexibility. I think so too. I think that is correct. Now, of course, OBS is for free. vMix, you have to pay for it. So it's all the eye of the beholder. But looking at, I'm streaming so often that I think that that's a good investment. Yeah. Let me see. Right Digital. At work, we rely on OBS for lower thirds and logo to add at the last step before the broadcast. Yeah, that's basically what I also. These days, I don't do that anymore. To be honest, it depends. If I'm streaming out, I will put the graphics on the vMix computer and have the whole camera movement on an ATEM switcher. However, if I'm not streaming out, or I'm just pushing it out to a Teams stream, then typically I'm just using vMix for overlays inside of the ATEM these days, on location. But that's on location because there it's important not to have a delay if I'm pushing out something to the screen. So that's a reason. By the way, I have some interesting things to share with you guys about gigs of the last couple of weeks. Neil says 2 guest star appearances. Yes, indeed. So that is Scooter and my dad. So my dad is taking care of the two cats when I'm here. Reasoning is really because Scooter is very young and really wants attention, and that's also totally fine with me normally. But in this studio, he can do quite some harm, also to himself. And I just want to make sure that he is not here when I'm doing that, or at least he needs to be under supervision. And that is why my dad is thankfully doing this for me. So that's really helpful. Andre is in the house. Hello from Brussels. Sorry to be late. Is it possible to view your events later offline? I own an ATEM Mini Pro ISO. Is it... wait a sec. Is it interoperable with vMix? Yes and no. So yeah, let's use this very quick intermezzo to explain how things are aligned. So you can bring in the output of the ATEM switcher into vMix via either an HDMI input if you have a capture card, or via the USB output of your ATEM Mini Pro ISO. So the end program, so the program that you're switching on the ATEM itself, that can be put into vMix, and on top of that, you can use vMix to add graphics or play videos and that kind of stuff. So that is possible. What is not possible is that, for example, you have 3 or 4 cameras on your ATEM Mini, that you see all 4 of them in the vMix interface. That's not possible, to be honest. So it's a bit of a bummer, maybe. On the other hand, it simplifies it also from my end, because yeah, it's quite difficult. So yes and no. That's basically what I'm saying. Vice versa, you can also, but then you need to have something additionally, like a real capture card by Blackmagic, like a Declan card, or alternatively, you need to have an Ultra Studio. Then you can output the graphics from vMix and use, for example, camera 3 and 4 to have a key in the fill, so that you can have a lower like you see here, a nice overlay. But I don't know if you need to be very technical for that one, for the latter. Raul says, I really like vMix for a simple one camera, one screen share show. I think so. I think so too. It's quite easy, and it's actually roughly what I'm doing at the moment, right? Clint from Australia, welcome. Enjoy watching your videos. Oh, so Clint, thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right. You're early, I think, or not, Clint? It's extremely early in Australia at the moment, I believe. I hope that you slept well and that the Sunday is starting well for you. Anyway, yeah, so we did talk a little bit about shortcuts, why it's important. We also talked about the Stream Deck. What I just showed you is available on the Stream Deck XL. Let me go back to that website, because of the question just now. So I'm gonna open elgato.com again. In the meantime, if my computer wants to work with me, that is. Yep. All right, let me go to that screen again. There you go. If I go to Stream Decks, so the Stream Deck XL will work with vMix, no problem. Will work 100% for sure. The Stream Deck MK2 will work with vMix 100% for sure, no issues. The Stream Deck Mini will work with vMix, no problems, 100% for sure. The mobile app will work with vMix, no issue. The pedal will show you that it will work in just a minute, and the Stream Deck, officially not yet. I do believe that parts of it will from the get-go work, but definitely not everything. So that's a little bit of a disappointment there. But that is all. That has everything to do, not so much with vMix being lazy or something. Definitely not. It's more that Elgato has not yet launched the SDK yet. So the SDK is a way for software developers like vMix to integrate that into their software, and once that becomes available, then they can really start doing that. So that is the reason, nothing more, nothing less. It's not rocket science. It's just a matter of waiting before Elgato has released that SDK, and I'm pretty sure it will become part of it. All right, so. Nice. Okay, so we're back on this screen. Now, next to that is that, of course, I also want to say something else about this. You see, this is a digital version of the one that I have in front of me. I like it. It works like a charm. It's really beautiful. By the way, I am going to remove this because I don't need it. So removing is also as easy as that. Delete. And you can add your graphics if you like. However, I also have on the same computer a different Stream Deck device, and that is, of course, the pedal. But there's nothing there yet. And this is where I want to show you something else that I actually have already been using for 1 or 2 shows. And I believe that I've removed it. I did not. I will be deleting the playlist like so, because I don't want you to see that. All right. So I already said playlist. So let me explain playlist a little bit. So you saw a lot of buttons that you need to push, right? And that is totally fine. But why if those buttons, to be honest, are always the same? It's always a standard church service always starts with this, then goes to this, then goes to this. There's really a very strong program-wise show flow, so to speak. And that's also for this show as well. There is a big show flow, so why am I not automating that? Well, that's basically the reason why I'm going to do that moving forward. However, today I have removed everything, and we're going to do a simple version of it together. And the way that we're going to do that is that we're going to use something that is called a... wait a sec. Yep. There's something that is called a playlist. And a playlist is something that you see right here below. So really right there on the lower end of your screen, there's a playlist right here. And you can configure that playlist like so, to hitting the cogwheel that is in front of it. And here you see all the available inputs that you have at your disposal to do something. So that is really interesting, right? So you can actually do something. So I can actually create a new playlist. And I can enter a new playlist, and I'm going to use it as a Taekwondo demo. Like so. And I hit OK. So now I'm creating a playlist that I can navigate to and also use as a reference. And the way that I'm going to use it at the moment is, let me just make it easy on myself. I will first go to my camera, this camera that you're looking at right here. I'm going to hit the playlist. I'm going to say, I'm going to cut to that one right there, like it's already stating. And I like it a lot. This is perfect. Okay. Then once I'm there, I actually want to add let's say a call to action. And I do have some call to actions right here. This one right here. I'm going to add that. And I am going to state that this is an overlay. So it's not a normal type, but it's actually an overlay. And I'm going to put it on overlay number 4, for example, and I'm going to hit it. And then once that is done, I'm actually going to go back to the main shot, which is still normal. Let me verify that quickly. So that's a normal device. And then once I've done that, I actually want to go to, let's say, the top position, the NDI top position. So then I'm going to go right there. And once I've done that, I will be going back to like so. Let me push this one up a little bit. Oh, push this one down. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to start with this camera that I'm looking at right now. And then I'm going to do a call to action automatically. Then I'm going to go back to the screen. By the way, the reason why I'm doing it this way is that by adding again the same screen is that it will automatically also remove the overlay as a position that is in use. Then I'm going to switch to the overhead shot, the PTZ shot, and then I'm going to go back to that. Oh, why not? Why not do this before I'm going to add even? Let me just say. Where's my lower third? L3. There you go. Boom. So I'm gonna do that earlier. I'm gonna add that right there. Perfect. And the lower third obviously needs to be on overlay 1. There you go. Then I want to make sure that it starts, of course, with this one, and it needs to be in a manual mode. All right. Okay. So that is a playlist right there. That is a playlist that I'm just building right here. There is something to say is that the playlist is not active from the get-go. So you do need to activate that playlist. We'll be doing that. Well, we can do that right now, but let's keep it very simple for now. We're going to just move to next. So I'm going to go back here. And what I'm going to do, I don't want to do that right there. I actually want to, well, let's go like so. That's okay. So I want to use the center button on my paddle to become a vMix shortcut right there. And I want it to do something, and I want it to go to the next one, to the next slide, or so to speak. So in order to do that, we're going to go to settings again. Let's go to the other screen, because I think that this screen is a little bit yucky. So let's just simplify it a little bit for you guys. Let me go. Oh, it's a bit of an annoyance that you cannot switch with your mouse when the when there's a pop-up, but that's okay. It's just a matter of. So let's go here. Boom. All right. Then let's add that shortcut again. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that on the center paddle, I want to just hit next. So the next in the playlist that we just created. So in order to do that, I've moved that shortcut right here. It doesn't have to be replaced. And that's basically it. I can also give it a meaningful name here. As you can see, of course, on the pedal, there's no interface. So it doesn't make sense to really make it nice and beautiful. But I can say next right here. It's an important step. It's not doing anything yet. So in order to do something with it, I'm going to go to shortcuts. I'm going to hit add. I'm going to hit find. And I'm going to navigate to the center one and then hit this one right here. So now this button right here is the center one that I just pressed with my foot, and then I'm gonna hit function right here. I'm gonna go to playlist and I'm gonna say next playlist entry. I'm gonna give it a title next. Local, perfect, boom. That's it. Okay. I can also I can also create a starting point for it. So I'll do that anyway now. I'm gonna hit start. I'm gonna make a start right here. And hit add. I'm gonna say it find. I'm gonna feel the button again. It's this one right here. I'm going to go to playlist. I'm going to hit start playlist and hit OK. But the system does not know yet which one to start. So now it's a little bit awkward. So maybe I should have done it the other way around. But let me. I need to make sure that the device is available for my feet. Oh, wait, I forgot to make it local. There you go. Boom. So I'm now going to add the functionality to select the playlist. So now, again, I need to, wait, it's not available yet. So now what I tried is I clicked on the right hand button, but it didn't do anything because it didn't know yet that it needed to be a vMix shortcut. So now I'm going to do it again. Hit find, say this one, perfect. Then go to playlist right there. I say select playlist, and which one was that? That was TC Taekwondo Demo. That was the name that we provided to it. I'm hitting OK, and I'm hitting OK like so. So now what I'm doing now is that without no hands, I'm saying select Taekwondo. I'm gonna now start the show, and I'm now gonna say next. Please subscribe if you like this kind of content, and hit the bell icon. I'm hitting it again, and this is again to make sure that everything is cleaned out perfectly. Then I'm hitting it again. Then it states my name. Again, no hands. Now it's showing you the overhead shot, and now it's going to go back, and now we reached the end of that playlist. Was that cool or not? So now with the press of one button, you can go through the whole shebang, the whole program, preview, etc. without the need of your hands. So you can really deliver the content to the audience without them even knowing that you're actually pressing a button below. Now, I was not really paying attention to so that you could not hear me use the pedal, because it is auditable a little bit. But it's not really something that you really notice. I've learned. So I notice it because it's close to me. But for you guys, it's probably not that bad. Let me see if there are some comments in the meantime before I go on. You can queue the show for automation. Pretty neat. Yes, you can. You do need to build the whole show up front, but once you have built it, it's just next, finish. Sean says, I had nothing but color bars outputted to Facebook last week, even though no output changed. You mean with vMix, Sean? Because then I might know what happened. Let me know if it's with vMix or something else. So we've learned that you can use the pedal for automation. We've learned that you can use a Stream Deck for just pressing buttons, like I have in front of me. This button these right here. But I also tried it out earlier as well, and I actually also sometimes use that. Is that I can actually even make it without hands or feet, because I can also use my voice to trigger something. And that's the last one that I wanted to show you today before I leave you. And also I want to talk a little bit about next week's show, because it's going to be really cool. And that is the following. Let me go back to my screen. I have to prepare that a little bit, I see. No, I'm not going to prepare it. I'm going to do it like this. So there you go. Boom. We don't need this. Boom. There's no Stream Deck involved in this setup at all. We're just going to use our voice in this one. And the way that we do that is, again, via the shortcuts menu right there. And you can still add a shortcut right there, like we did until now every single time. And this time around, we're not going to do a key, but we're going to do a voice command. So there must be a voice command thing here somewhere. Voice. That's it. Right there. Boom. And here it states that it wants to know a phrase that it needs to watch through. So you have to be a little bit careful and a little bit creative with this. For example, subscribe to the channel. So that can be a nice phrase, so to speak. And if I then hit the function key and I want to have an overlay on 4. Yeah, I want to use the call to action. Where is it again? This one, the bar future videos, right there. And I'm gonna make this sub for subscribe, make it local, and boom, now it is available. So now let's just go back to this screen right here. Now you're not gonna believe me, but I'm not. I will do even like so. I'll also sit like this, and it would be absolutely fantastic if you would subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Okay, now I need to figure out why it's not working. It was last time also something awkward. So let's do that together. I'm missing a point. I'm missing something here. Let me check what I've missed so far. Because I also make mistakes sometimes. Or didn't I save it? Oh no, I did save it right here. It's a voice, but does it know where to look, which voice to use? It needs to know where to. Voice shortcuts enabled. Needs to be enabled, of course. And not the system, but just go to the master. There you go. Boom. Oops. We're not gonna do that because then I don't have a stream. But basically, if you would restart the vMix at the moment, then it will be available to react on voice commands. But unfortunately, I cannot show that because otherwise my stream will be killed, and that's a little bit of a bummer if you're streaming from one system. No. It's not maybe. I already tried it before. It's working. The only thing is that I forgot to enable it up front. You can make it as easy as you can make it, but I also have learned that if you the more precise the sentence is, the better it will act. That is first. That is it. Yeah, you have to. If you make a typo, if I made a typo, then that might be then that's the reason. But it did not know where to listen to. So you need to provide a channel that it needs to listen to. In this case, just the master audio would be fine. The audio that you're listening to yourself, that would be fine for the sake of this this functionality. But I will definitely have one of them available for the next time. So I will be adding a voice command just for the sake of it. But literally, this is all that you need to do. So, but you do need to add that enablement right there. Otherwise, it will not work. But it will definitely. I will definitely make sure that it will work next week, because next week we have a Q&A session, and during that Q&A session, let me, for the sake of it, save this session. Then at least I'm not forgetting it anymore. During that Q&A session, I'm actually also doing other stuff. There's a lot of things to talk about. I had 3 gigs the last month, ranging from extremely huge with a 2ME switcher, with audio interfaces, with being responsible for audio, being responsible for the local beamer / projector that to provide some information there, all of it, right? So that was a big, huge setup. We had an even bigger setup during a carnival song contest show. That was not solely by me. That was by a group of people that I'm actually pleased to be working with. They're from a local radio TV station here in the neighborhood. extremely cool to work with them. And the third one is actually something that I did yesterday. It was also Carnival related, and I had a minimized set, but with 4 PTZ cameras. Yes, 3 of them were Burdock's. So you can imagine how cool that is with PTZ cameras and doing a lot of different things. And I want to talk to you about all 3 of them and why I've chosen a certain setup, and why, for example, just to give you a bit of a heads up, why am I using Burdock's that actually can talk NDI with vMix, but I'm not switching with vMix. Why am I doing that? That is a good question, and I'm definitely going to talk about that next week. And then another thing that I'm going to talk about is, of course, the new, well, partly the new studio setup that I have been using for the last 2 weeks. It's because I now have a different desk than when I started this year. So the first episode of this year had a different setup than the second one. So I've been trying things out, seeing how I can make it improve, and I think I'm pretty happy with what it looks like at the moment. Of course, there's no chains behind me or something, so that is different. But what is really cool about this setup is that I can actually higher it up and stand and do some work compared to what it was. All right. Roel says, that's nice. I'm going to try the voice command. Yeah, it's really cool. Again, don't forget to enable it. MT says, indeed, voice commands are pretty cool. Yes, however, I do have to admit that even though it's really cool, you need to be precise in your language. Now, I believe that German is one of the languages that have been enabled, so you're good in Germany, but Dutch is definitely not enabled. So with a Dutch accent or English speakers that talk a little bit with an accent like myself, it's a bit of a problem. You thought that I said subscribe? Did I? It might be. Let me check. But it still won't work because it didn't know where to look. So I'm not worried about that. But let's check that if you're right. Because if I messed up, then that's good to know. So let's go here and go here, and then say shortcuts sub. Yeah, you're right. But it's still not going to work. There you go. Subscribe. I'm going to try it for the sake of it. Let me remove this for the sake. Subscribe to the channel. So it doesn't know. You have to reboot. You like the playlist, says Connie. Yeah, I also really like it. I'm definitely going to use it. Clint says, Clint says, looking forward to the live show next week. Hopefully, Blackmagic has something new for us next week from their showcase at ICE in Barcelona. Yeah, I'm also hoping for it. I do have some wish. Well, not for myself because I'm actually quite happy with what I have at the moment. With the 2 ME switcher, I am at least the golden. I don't need a 4 ME switcher or an 8K constellation or something like that. But from the perspective of other people, I would state that it would be great if they finally have a Constellation 4K series as well, because that is something that's clearly missing in their lineup at the moment. They have HD perfectly. They have, I would state, they have a very good lineup if it comes to HD models. There are 1 or 2 that I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, for example, the 1ME, I would have just removed that from the setup because no clear reason. And then the 4K, of course. Those are really missing. Yeah. Okay, so next week is going to be cool with three geek reports, so to speak. We'll be talking a little bit about the changes in the studio, and of course, questions that you might have in the coming period. I will hopefully have hopefully, I will try not to forget to add a voice command. If I forget that, that's okay, because now it's already enabled. So once I've restarted vMix, it will be automatically there. So if you guys want me to do that, then you will see that happening next week. And we'll do the demo in that case. I hope that you had a fantastic time. I really did enjoy it. I loved your interaction. I'm really looking forward to, again, next week. We have a lot of shows lined up for you that are really cool. I just received some news, some exciting news that I might be getting something to demo you guys. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Not sure when it will arrive, but we'll see. And there are other plans, but I'm not going to share them yet. Let me see. Last comments for today. Another great RSS, Connie. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, then that's what I had in store for you guys today. Really appreciate you for being here again, and I hope to see you on the next one. So let's go. Bye bye.